Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Back Post. Welcome to another live stream. Josh, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good. I'm excited to be on ecams.live. Really sounds like at some point I'm going to slowly remove this jumper and go for it.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely different to what we're used to. I like that one intro. Yeah, no, we were using something different today. So if anything messes up, sorry, innit? Um, yeah, of course, we're talking about Chelsea versus Spurs. It's always a big game when it comes to this channel because me and Josh started this channel. We've always hated this game coming up because it's always meant that we have to talk about it. And then we're doing a live stream today, so anything can happen. Uh, where should we start, Josh? Should we start with Spurs' last game, maybe? Get out of the way with.
Before we do that, just because I did some research for something and it never got said, and it's weird football, isn't it? Because
A little bit.
I sent you a picture of this yesterday, and yes, Chelsea have a new manager bounce, and I know that I'm not going to go at you here. I know that you're sad about Frank, but I've heard people say Tuchel's Chelsea is here, and it's like, oh, come on, guys! Like Frank's barely cold in the ground, like just. But if you look at Tottenham, Chelsea, and bizarrely Liverpool's last 6 games, you're looking at 2 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses for each. It's just you've got slightly, that curve's gone up slightly for you guys, it's gone down slightly for us guys, but still mad.
Yeah, Ace likes the the watermark.
Yeah, sorry, Ace. Nothing we can do.
Sorry. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a strange one, isn't it? Because you're right. Everyone's like the whole conversation surrounding Chelsea's completely changed, and it's had a lot of confidence. Even though we've only drew and won one, which out of the Wolves and Burnley, you should expect at least that. So yeah, no, it's the conversation has changed. People, not everyone seems to have forgotten about Lampard. I don't want to throw everyone under the bus, but it feels like a distant memory already. And Tuchel's here, but don't get me wrong. I like Tuchel. He's got a lot about him. His press conferences have really impressed me. So I'm not going to slate him like I felt like I was going to early on. But yeah, no. So going into this game, we even though the form's very similar, we have the confidence, and you probably less so.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because even though I've just made a bit of a defence and said, "Oh, look, our form's actually quite similar," honestly, it's difficult for me to say the worst game because I've watched, but with the players that we had out there and the manner of which we lost, it was an even worse performance somehow than when we lost 3-0 there last season.
Well, you said it could have been.
Well, yes, yeah, it could have been. They hit the post. Toby Alderweireld made a goal line clearance, and I guess that made it slightly better because at least you're like, one player can defend out of. But I've never seen such clueless football ever.
Yeah, it was quite. You were quite lost, and obviously that breeds the question: is it Kane that you're missing? Because without him, with him not too long ago, you weren't lost. You were winning some. Yeah, form dipped from the start of the season, but it had not dipped to the point where. And I know you don't really like XG, but your XG was like 0.0 something.
Well, the only reason I don't like XG is because we had like a blatant shot on goal against Liverpool, and it was there like 0.09, and like it was a proper edge of the box on target shot. And I was like, "Oh, sure, that's not possible." I don't understand XG. I do understand XG. I don't understand how it's being used and how they seem to just. I don't know. But anyway, it's difficult because yes, obviously Kane is a massive, sad miss, and he is one of the best players in the league. However, and I know it's a 1 in a million goal, but in fact, it's not because look at when we beat. I can't remember what the score was, but when Son, you were in your yellow kits, and Son ran down the wing past every single Chelsea player and slotted it home. And look at Son against Burnley, where he ran through the entire team and won the Puskas Award. Like he doesn't. Most of his assists have come from Kane this season, but he's still a phenomenal footballer.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was last season or the season before where Kane inevitably got injured, and Son did step up that time round, and he did really get the goals for you. So it's a bit strange to see, really. My gripe with that game, and my gripe with that game. Sorry to cut you off. is the starting lineup, man. It's like you bought a backup striker who's banged in some goals when he's been asked to, and you've not played him when Kane's out. Wasn't that the point?
I see what you're saying, Jay. However, I know it hasn't worked out like that. But Gareth Bale and Son should be able to score goals between them.
Yeah, and Alfie said Bale is dusted. Yeah, absolutely. That should be the case, but why isn't it, Josh? I know it's a big question, but why isn't it, mate?
I was thinking about this the other day, and I think it's to do, and I think a lot of articles have said this as well. And if he'd gone to any other club, let's just say for argument's sake, he'd gone to Chelsea. Yeah. Just he's a really, really, really good player. He's a world class player on his day. Yeah, but you also don't know what you're getting, really, because you don't. Because there's not that feeling. But for him to come to a Tottenham that just adore him and expect this machine to return to them, I think he's just crumbled under it a little bit. And I think he was expecting to come back. And I think, again, I've said this before, I think he was shell-shocked to look around a dressing room after coming from Madrid and winning Champions League and leagues and Copa del Rey, where he runs off the pitch and runs back on and makes... He looks at Kane and Son. And then they're looking back at him and Bergwijn and going, well, we're picking Bergwijn. And Bale's like...
Yeah.
It's mad. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. I think he's definitely cemented his place on the bench against you guys. And I mean that in a negative way. I think he had a chance against Brighton to stake a claim, and he definitely didn't take it. And however, the best moment of a dreadful, dreadful match was a snapshot from Vinicius, which led a relatively good save out of their keeper Sanchez. And I think that was the only moment of the entire game.
Yeah, and
should have saved it.
To be fair, he had no right getting it on target. To be fair, but he did, and that for me, if I was you, obviously for me, I'm like, don't play him because you will lose. But for me, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd be like, this fucking play this kid, man. Like, surely, like I know he's only done it against smaller teams, but he is a striker out and outright, and maybe he could form if he forms like a quarter of what him and Kane and Son have chemistry-wise with Son, you'll surely start scoring again.
No, I completely agree. And Kane's meant to be out for 3 weeks, which isn't the end of the world. It's not like we have to rely on this kid for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, if you're going to buy him in for decent money, you might as well play it. And if it doesn't work, hook him at the 60th minute and try something else.
Yeah, and then you try Bergwijn or maybe Bale if you're still not starting him. But yeah, it's a weird one. But that's not. I mean, to try not to stay on Spurs for too long, but it's a very interesting topic. Like, that's not the only problem. Like, obviously you can't score goals at the moment, and that's a problem. But like, you just don't look. Sorry, you just don't look like it was so unenthusiastic the past couple games.
Reguilon is just a bigger miss as Kane. Yeah. Davies, I don't have this hatred against Davies that some Spurs fans have, but he is so good and he's so energetic, and he turns that entire left side into just this frantic channel that the other team doesn't want to go near. Yeah. The other team are like, what? I don't want anything to do with that madman, and because he's just better. And to have him out, and we've tried Doherty on the left, Davies on the left. We put Sissoko on the right back position last against Brighton, and I fear that will happen again. I fear that I know I've put my predicted lineup out, but I do fear that a Sissoko return to the right back position might happen, and I don't want that.
No, that's even more negative. Sorry, James. We said hi to James, but we have to say hi to James's sister. Hello, James's sister.
What's her name, James?
Go on.
We need to be personal here. We can't just say hi, James's sister. That's not how you introduce someone.
We're going to say hello, James's sister from now on. But no, whilst we wait for his sister's name, that is right. And I think, but like the only player that looks other than like I think the final nail in somewhat of a coffin for you guys, if you got rid of Højbjerg or if he got injured, then that would be Her name's Nancy, by the way. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Hi,
Um,
Nancy.
if he somehow got injured, that's game over because he's like the last piece of the fight left. Kind of, you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, after and are we doing a separate bit about the lineups, or are we just
Yeah.
going through it as
Well,
we go?
because we're talking about Spurs, we'll get onto your lineup and then we'll
We'll
talk
get on to the
Chelsea
line.
and then.
We are the home side. We'll go first.
So that covering my face.
Yes.
It's your lineup, your predicted one.
So my logic behind this was that it was quite a similar team to what we've gone with recently, but bringing back an actual right back that can deliver. And if you're playing Sissoko as a right back anyway, and we don't have Kane, so Son has to go forward, and Bale is shit, and Lamella doesn't deserve a shout. Sissoko and Doherty can sort of almost overlap. That was kind of my theory, trying to get into Mourinho's head there. I thought that they could lock down that right a bit more and swap. Maybe. That was my logic. I now possibly think that it could be Bergwijn there, Son on the other side, and Vinicius up top. Maybe. That's clever.
Yeah.
I do remember, though, and I don't know what will happen because I don't know if there's been an update yet, but Ndombele limped off against Brighton.
Oh, did he?
So I have forgotten about that up until about 10 minutes after I sent you the lineup. So I don't know. Maybe Sissoko then goes there. Mm-hmm. Maybe Winks goes there.
Winks got. I mean, I don't know if he got minutes against Brighton, but he got some minutes last time out, didn't he? So it's an interesting one. But for me, that lineup it suggests that you think. Cause have you been playing with a back five a lot recently?
We have. No, we've started. We've started recently, and it's gone horrible. This is not my. Just for clarification, this is not what I want. This is what I believe will happen. Yeah. Mourinho has diverted to a back. But if it was up to me, it would be Aurier, Toby, Roden, Davis. It would be Reguilon, but he's out. So out of the available backs four, that would be what I would want. And then I'd want a 2 of Højbjerg and, I don't know, Sissoko. Then I would want Bergwijn, Dele fucking Alli, and Son, and then Vinicius up top, out of the available players. That's what I would want. Maybe with what we're seeing now, Ali will be giving us more. Like Mourinho wanted him to go. We know that. But Levy said no. So now that he's here, now that we don't have a Kane, now that we don't have a Lo Celso, maybe Mourinho will just say, you know what, Ali, here's a football game for you to play.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Go on. But just have a go, kid. Have a go.
Have a go, because actually you're quite good at football, Dele Alli. You've had your moments where you've not been, but I promise you, he's quite good. I've seen it. I've seen it for a few years. Dele Alli's really good at football. Arguably better than Sissoko.
James said who will win, and we'll get onto that, James. Don't worry, so stick around. Quite like this new app. Any final thoughts, Josh? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in onto your face here for any final thoughts on Spurs.
Brilliant. No, it's not looking good for us at the moment, is it? But it's a game in which, like, without trying to jinx anything, and I'm not too hopeful. Look at Arsenal before they played Chelsea. I know that was under a different management. I know that was under different circumstances, but at the same time, Tottenham have lost the fourth. Only United, City, and Liverpool have lost less games than Tottenham. Like, we're in all 4 cup competitions. We are not as bad as it looks. It's mad. We're closer to the league than we were under Poch when he it's such a confusing time. However, the eye test, we were shit. We were shit against Brighton. So as long as we are not that shit, it'll be fine. But I'm not holding out high hopes.
Fair enough. It's a very interesting point because as we all know, this league this league this time round is mental. It makes no sense. That's why a lot of us are frustrated one day, happy the next. So as much as you guys are in this kind of form,
Yeah, look at Leeds slapping up Leicester, for God's sake.
Newcastle beating Everton, it makes no sense. I
Just
won an ACCA the other day, and I was so surprised that I did because it's so weird.
And I think that's where, and we will go into Chelsea next, but I think that's where the frustration lies with all these teams, because you as a Chelsea fan are sat there going, every team is fucking up. How are we not taking advantage? And me as a Tottenham fan is going, every team is fucking up. We need to take advantage. And United are going, every team is fucking up. We can win the league. And everyone needs to realise that no one's exempt from the fuck ups. This City maybe, but the league is just
even about 4 weeks ago, we were like, that's it, Liverpool, it's theirs now, and then they started grumbling again. It's crazy, and yeah, and we'll move on to Chelsea now. Our last game against mighty Burnley. Tuchel is here, Josh. Tuchel is here, and apparently we're winning everything. No, he's brought a lot of life into the club, because the 2-3 weeks before Lampard did get sacked, it was getting bleak. Everyone kind of knew that he was going. It was just kind of spoke about it. Every journalist was talking about it. All the fans were talking about it. It was a dark time, and then it feels like Tuchel's been quite smart, to be fair to him, and he's come in and he's kind of injected a bit of life, a bit of energy. So because it could have gone sour quickly because of it being Lampard, but no, he's done quite well, and he's got them playing a little bit better. I don't think it's much better. The game against Wolves was really boring. A lot of people were like, yeah, but look how much passing we did. It's like we did that against so many other teams and it still didn't get a goal out of it.
And also that was the pinnacle of Sarri ball, wasn't it?
Oh God, yeah. It was. I remember thinking to myself, oh, we've had all this possession, we've had all this, and we're not scoring. And then I thought, I've felt this before, and I had these flashbacks.
Tuchel just taking the end of a cigarette butt, and you're
no. Yusuf's here. Welcome, guys. A bit late, I know. I think the best duo to do this preview are both of you, innit? Well, thank you very much, Yusuf.
Thank you, Yusuf. And it's fine. Join us for the last bit. Go back and watch the start. It's all chill.
Yeah, man. Exactly. So let's talk the Burnley game. It was good. It was quite fun, actually. We passed the ball quickly at times, which is something that I feel like I've screamed at the telly a lot in the past month or so. Like, just pass the ball quicker and something will happen. And I feel like you can say this to a lot of teams. The whole possession-based football now seems to be quite popular, especially with bigger teams. And then a lot of the smaller teams realise if they put a lot of men behind the ball, they can stop, low block, all that kind of shit. But the second we did pass the ball just an ounce quicker, things happened, and it was really nice to see. What's the face?
What is an ounce? What is an ounce quicker?
It's about this much quicker.
That is a unit of weight.
This much quicker is like, but this specifically, no, but it's encouraging to see what Tuchel's done with some of the play. I think the first game, the big news was no Mount. There's no Mason Mount. What's he doing? No Mason Mount. And then he came on in the last 10 minutes and was like, you should be playing me. And then he was like, yes, I should be playing you. And the next game did, and he played really well. So I'm happy to see that, because that was a worry. I'm really happy to see what he's done with Hudson-Odoi. Like, he's converted him into a right wing back, and I would have been the first to go, no. But there he is, Callum, running up and down the wing, even pulling in a defensive shift, which I never thought he had in his game. So he's somehow seen that in him, and hopefully that continues to do well, because Callum's been pivotal for Tuchel's 2 games. And it's weird, and I feel like I'm talking about someone that's been here for a while. Yeah,
no, but what do you are you just? And I think it's worked and it's done well. And Hudson-Odoi, I'm not on Callum terms with him, but
no, I am, but
are you getting slightly concerned for Reece James now?
This is it, isn't it? Like, because Asby it's perfect for him to be right centre back, because he might be getting too old to be a full back, perfect to be right centre back, can be the captain on the pitch. Even got a goal against Burnley, which was kind of mad to see because even though Reece is the wing back, Asby overlapped him. There was like 3 overlaps. It was really strange.
Reece, but Reece wasn't playing.
Asby. So
you mean Hudson-Odoi?
Oh my God, Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi was overlapping and then got overlapped by Asby, who scored the goal. So there's like 3 overlaps. But no, you're right. That is a worry. I think a lot that we're worried about a couple of youngsters like Gilmore as well, who's been mentioned. But listen, Reece James.
He's so young, Jay.
Reece James is more important.
Oliver Skip is on loan at Norwich.
No, I understand.
Such a good footballer. But Billy Gilmore has so much time. Stop worrying.
No. You know what it is. Like being a Chelsea fan, I see this really cool talent fuck off and never come back. I don't want him to go. Come back, stay. For Kyle Tomori, I every part of my mind doesn't think he'll play for Chelsea again.
I don't see how AC Milan don't take up that offer to buy.
It's an absolute steal. Shapat said hello. Shapat, how you doing, mate?
That's Shapat. How you doing? But we'll talk about it at the end. But while people are here, if people are still here, just say what you think's going to happen in the game as well, and we'll run through that at the end quickly.
Definitely.
We're going to talk about it now, but say what you think's going to go down.
Definitely. We'll keep an open discussion. But yeah, no. So, but the 2 of the most important Chelsea players of Frank's second season, were Mason and Reece. And so now I am worried about Reece James.
Mountain James, yes.
Yeah, come on. Listen, they're my boys, man. I know them well. Now, you know what makes me laugh? James Alcott, he calls Dominic Calvert-Lewin DCL. And Flav hates it. He's like, stop foot, it's not his name. Score Calvert-Lewin. I feel like that's what you're doing to me right now.
It's all right. The only player I don't ever type to you with the last name is Alderweireld because it's just Toby in it. Yeah, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to spell check Alderweireld every time. Same with
Asby or Dave. I like Dave. Everyone, I like that. We're like, we'll just call him Dave, and there's the chant and everything. No, so sorry. Let's go back to the game. It was a good game. It's Burnley. I think I said we normally beat them 2-0, didn't I? And we did. It was just a good point, 3 points to get a good bit of confidence in the lads to go to the big game. And I'll pull up my my predicted lineup. And this was a tough one, for me.
I can imagine.
Cover Josh's face. Sorry, I was just reading some of the comments there, and I'll get to them in just a second. So, Josh, bro, there he is. Wait, go away. This was a tough one for me. The Ecamm logo's in the way, so I might have to put it.
Okay.
This is fun. I'm just gonna make it smaller and put it there.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this was a tough one, right? Because we've played 5 at the back under Tuchel so far, which has been, which again, if you told me that's what we were going to do, I would have said no, and then it's worked. The resurgence of Alonso last game was typical, especially for him to get a goal. New manager, new slate, and he comes in and just took his opportunity. But listen, Alonso, I've said this for ages, Alonso is an incredible left wing back. He's just a shit average driver and left back. So I was quite happy to get him out of the club, so Josh would stop bringing that up. But now he's fucking back, and again, then that makes me scared for Chilwell's position, because if we continue to play 5 at the back, Alonso should be playing.
He did win a league with Alonso at left wing back,
and he was incredible in that league.
And as much as I do slate him in that position, like you said, there's not many better.
No, he's really one of the best. But from what I've heard, a lot of Tuchel, he doesn't just stick to one thing. He kind of adapts and changes, and that's quite nice to hear. But I think he's still getting to know the players. He's found something that briefly worked, mate. I think he might go for a very similar thing. So that's why I've gone with this lineup. So I've gone Silva, Rudiger, Aspi, Mendy obviously in net. Kepa is nowhere near the goalkeeper spot. And then Alonso and Hudson-Odoi as wing backs again. As we mentioned, Hudson-Odoi is really good at the moment. And then in the midfield, we've been playing Jorginho and Kovacic, and I absolutely hate it. It's playing. Jorginho on his own.
Is Frank fit?
Yeah, so I think he's fit now. He's been fit for the past couple games, but maybe not match fit. So this is what I was going to go on to. So I think he should be ready for this. And Tuchel's been singing his praises. He's really said that like he loves Kante. He's wanted to sign him before, maybe at PSG or whatever. So I think if he is fit, and I think he is, that's why I've put him there. Because as well, Jorginho and Kovacic both individually are great, but when they both play, I just feel like we're wasting a space. There doesn't need to be both of them. But I feel like Kante, will come in and do, and if he gets back to top form, he's again one of the best defensive mids. But he's not been there for a while. And then I think he likes Kovacic, and Havertz hasn't really got a sniff around just yet. And I don't know what Tuchel's plans with Havertz at the moment because he's not played him a whole lot. In the past 2 games, maybe he's just going to try and slowly bring him in, which I think would be wise. Because
didn't he start him against Wolves?
I don't think so. I think he brought him on.
He definitely did.
Did he? Oh no, he didn't. Yeah. He didn't start Werner in the first one, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. But anyway, he should know now that Mount is a very important player for Chelsea and needs to be playing. So I'm going for him. And then up front, I've gone for Tammy and Werner. I think he likes the 2 up top. It's either Tammy or Giroud. Tammy played the last one. Giroud played the first one. Tammy did get hooked off at half time, and you said that's him done. Didn't you?
I would be surprised. I will be surprised if Tammy starts. It obviously could happen, but I'd be surprised. I have a feeling that I don't know how it would work formation-wise, but that all rings true to me. I don't know about Kante because I don't know if Tuchel will trust him enough to throw him straight into this game. I feel like he's a sub you make rather than a starter.
Yeah, fair.
But I feel like, I don't know, Havertz kind of just floating just slightly lower than Tammy to give it to Werner, maybe. But
so Lampard's last couple of games, that's all I really wanted was to see Werner up top, Havertz just behind him and arriving into the box, or maybe collecting it out wide, arriving, because he's got a good aerial ability. So I think that a front 2 of those 2 could work. But again, we have 2 other strikers in that position, so playing a midfielder there would probably anger some people. And Tammy and Giroud don't deserve that because they've played really well this season. Both have a plenty of goals under them or under their belt already, so it would be harsh for that. I just picked. It was kind of 50-50 to be honest. It could be either or. I don't know what he's going to go for. I've gone for Tammy. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Giroud.
Some of the best football I've seen, and just because he reminds me of him slightly, is there's often an argument when you say, oh well, Dele Alli scored this many goals from midfield. The amount of people that then turn to you and say, well, he wasn't really a midfielder, was he? He was a forward. And I feel like that's where Havertz has been going wrong. He's been given too much he's been given too much pressure to defend, and he needs to get that obviously in the Premier League. But the best role that Havertz, if anyone's interested, just if you go and watch Dele Alli's 2016-17 season, that's the role Havertz needs to play.
Yeah,
he's essentially a second striker that helps out the midfield, not a midfielder that helps out the attack. And it's a very subtle difference, but it's a very important difference, I feel. He's technical, he's gifted, he's talented as fuck, and the best place for him to be is around the goal. Yes, if you're getting absolutely fucked by Man City, maybe don't play him because he's that type of player.
Mate, that's a fair point, very fair point, because at Leverkusen, he was playing up front basically. There was no striker there. He was up front, so no, absolutely. I think something, and I fell victim to this. We were all excited for Havertz. We were told that we were getting this incredible talent, all this and that. The longer I think about it, I think that Chelsea didn't think about this one. They just saw talent, young, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of money, take him. And we never had a space for him in the squad. We had certain players, we played a certain way, and we never had a space for him in the squad. So now we're trying to shoehorn him in. He should be playing in this role that we discussed him, but then that will anger to Tammy and Giroud, who have been scoring already, and we're now stuck in a predicament that probably could have been avoided.
Yeah, I think Rory said it as well. Like Chelsea have always signed players they needed, and with a very clear plan. Like when you bought Cahill in as a January signing, and you won the Champions League that year starting. And you've always seemed quite, as much as I don't like the way Chelsea's run, and I know, and that's not a dickhead sentence, Jay also does not 100% like the way Chelsea is run. There's always seemed to be this goal there. And this is the first time they've gone, oh, fuck, Werner's cheap. Fuck, Havertz is a young talent. Fuck. And they've just panicked and grabbed at everything.
The three good signings were Chilwell, because we needed a left back. We got Thiago Silva in to be the strong centre back whilst we're in the transitional phase, and a goalkeeper. Those were the three really good ones. The attacking talent, maybe no, Ziyech was needed because we sold
Ziyech was the one I was most jealous of, but as of watching him, he just needs to learn how to use his other foot.
You know, he pinged one in with his right foot against Wolves, and I was like...
Speaking of which, we will go on to some results, but can you just update me on the Arsenal score? Because I'm really curious.
Yeah, sure. So it was 1-1 when we last checked with a red card, weren't it? So, oh, my internet just decided to not...
No! Jay!
Not like this, lads. Let me just get this one comment up before I look, because it was about the lineup. So I see your comments, and I'm going to put some up in a sec. But A said Werner's too bad to start, and
he's such a good player. He's been utter shit since he joined Chelsea.
Wolves are 2-1 up, by the way.
Yes, come on.
49th minute, they got into the second half and just went, nah, fuck you, lads. Good stuff.
Nah, Werner's been shit since he joined, but he's a good player. It pains me to say that, but he is.
Yeah, like this is the thing that is so frustrating. It's not that he's missing; it's the fact that we know he's incredible and should be doing better. But I think Tuchel's been brought in with slight of the idea to get the better out of him and Havertz. So he'll try and do that because that was a part of Lampard's downfall. So let's get into some comments. Whilst Yusuf actually said the score, we should have just went to him.
Oh, sorry, Yusuf.
Got injured last time with that Jimenez clash, and now he got a red card. Are you serious? Shapat said, "I don't know how Spurs fans are going into this game with confidence."
What part of anything I've said has screamed confidence?
I don't know. I don't think he means you. Probably not, because you definitely didn't exert any confidence. Sorry, I'm just having a... We don't need to see Josh's face for the whole show. Oh, sorry, that was when I was hiding your face with the thing. What about when
How gay?
What about when we do this, lads? The Zoom. I've got the Zoom as well. Sorry, I'm getting out of hand, but we've done a really good job, Josh. Sorry.
I begged you. I begged you not to do this. Right, come on. Let's. What? Any other comments, or should we move on to the predictions?
We'll move on to some predictions. Whilst people, if you don't want to ask us any questions about the game or about anything, get them in the comments now, and we'll start asking them after we talk predictions. And do you want to go first with the predictions, Josh?
No. You know what? In my head, there's two separate. We're gonna have to give two separate predictions, and I know that's cheating, but we're gonna have to give a head prediction and a heart prediction because my head just doesn't see it, and it's not. It's not because I believe that Chelsea are a better team than Tottenham. It's because I believe that you've got a new manager and you're excited and you're playing well, and Tottenham are kind of going the other way a little bit under a negative Mourinho. So the head prediction is 2-0 Chelsea, and I hate to say that. I
really respect the honesty there, Josh.
But the heart prediction
7-0. No.
Think you can do 1-1? Come on. No, I don't know. I actually don't know. I think
says Tuchel masterclass 3-0.
I just think that even if you beat us, Jake, and again, this is not me digging you out. Seeing the Chelsea fan, you're allowed to celebrate your team winning, but I know, Jay, you will be sat there going, "Get in, come on, let's do it." And then there'll be a brief moment where you look at a picture of Frank and you go,
that one was for you.
But to every Chelsea fan celebrating after saying Frank out, I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
I don't care about them lot either.
Not a single, and I don't, and it's not just you guys. Any Tottenham fan that's a potch out can fuck off too, But not the point. I don't know. And my heart says that we could maybe come out and Son could have a game, and we could do it 2-0. It's going to be 2-0 either way. I don't know which.
I think something we have overlooked a little bit, and I know you'll always say, obviously, this isn't your big derby, but this is a derby, and it's got history, and it's got venom in it, and all this and that. So, and you know, the Mourinho factor is there, of course, with his ties to Chelsea still. We might be overlooking that slightly. Maybe, I mean, a lot of people have asked Tuchel, do you know how big of a game this is? And he goes, I'm loving his press conference. He just goes, yeah, a lot of people have told me. Love that. Love that.
Just as a side note, after this stream is done, I'm going to send you a picture of Yaro's brother, because I've said this to her countless times. Tuchel is his dad. They're so similar. It's mental. It's mental.
I like that. My dad says he looks like a Bond villain, which I get that. So my prediction, it's similar to your head one, because obviously I think, you know, Spurs, it's so negative at the moment. This is probably the worst time they could have played us, because it's like, it is literally like you're going this way, we're going this way, we're meeting just at the start of each one. But that could go for either way, couldn't it? Really, that could be a Spurs. We've got to stop this. We've got to go the other way, and that could result in a you know, question marks for Chelsea.
There is the one positive is there is something in my head that sees Tuchel starting with a draw, win, and a loss, just as a perfect, like, not great, not bad, but build. That's the only thing in my head that I'm going, maybe.
No, that is one of those weird football things, isn't it? That is like that's inexplainable. That's just a weird football thing that might happen.
Yeah.
No, yeah. But I'm gonna go for. I don't think we'll slap you up by any means. I think it'll, again, similar to you, 2-0. Matt, you know what? Werner's gonna score tomorrow. Thursday. Mark my words. Werner's gonna score.
I mean, he already has scored against us, hasn't he? Just wasn't enough to keep you in the cup.
Nope.
That's the weirdest thing. I know we're not talking about this now. The weirdest thing is the fact that Tottenham are still, you know, Everton in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup final, Europa League final stages, and within a chance of getting top four. Quite, like, it's mental.
But to be devil's advocate there, you've got Pep Guardiola, City, who love the Carabao and don't want to let go of it. The FA Cup is a tough one because Everton, even though they got beat to Newcastle, that's a difficult draw so early on. So
yeah, no, but it's a battle of who's shitter, isn't it? Everton, Tottenham. There's the two teams that refuse to win a trophy.
Yeah.
So like, we'll just go for it.
Yeah, so
it's great.
To be that to be the devil's advocate. I mean, and we're Tuchel said, you know, he's already said that the league's looking far away. There's a lot of teams in between. He says he's going to do his best, but that's too far away. But he's like, we're in 2 cups. We've got to focus on that. So yeah. I think we're going to be done here. There's not been too much in the comments. James said he's back. Welcome back, James.
Hi, Nancy.
And
there's a good very famous Pete Yorn song called Nancy. It's a good song. You'll know it when you hear it. Play it to your sister. Not in a weird way.
I'm just going to cut you off there. No, so thanks for being, everyone. We really appreciate it. We like doing these live things because we can get, you know, people commenting whilst we're talking. We've
definitely lost that. We've definitely lost that one follower who only followed us because of my audio quality. He's gone.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, he's sorry about you, man. Maybe just get a USB mic like I have. But no, we're definitely going to be doing a live stream, watching the game.
Are we? I thought we were going to maybe not.
We are. We're doing it.
I don't want to anymore.
You were like, I said to you, I said, I don't know.
I know I did.
And then you were, and I said, and then you were like, oh, you're pussying out. No, I'm not pussying out. You are.
It's on record. But then I remembered like the look I've been having on these streams lately.
Yeah,
it's not been going well.
It's been rough.
I mean, we beat Leeds, brilliant. Like, apart from that, the look has been shocking. And you know what? This is if you at all get to this point, Adam, where the fuck are you? Get here and start fucking. You know, me and Jay have to sit and watch the turgid shit. Jay has to watch Leicester slap them up. I have to fucking watch. The Arsenal game, I think, is the only good stream I've done. But the Leeds one, yes, but it's Leeds.
I did a couple Champions League ones, which were quite fun. But yeah, no, we'll be doing that. So make sure if you haven't already, subscribe for that, notifications on, so you know when we do go live. Like this video if you haven't already. Again, thanks for joining in, and tell your dad.
Tell your sister.
Tell your sister.
Nancy.
Even if she's not called Nancy, you can say Nancy.
No. Don't tell Nancy.
Tell Nancy. In a bit. Wait, no.